Hello, everyone. After 4.5 hours of travel from Prague, we will soon be arriving to Berlin, Germany. This time, we decided to travel to Railjet Railway. The train journey from Prague to Berlin is considered one of the most pleasant international rail trips in Central Europe. It takes about 4 hours, and the scenery changes beautifully as you travel to Czech capital into Eastern Germany. Most direct Eurocity or EC trains between Prague and Berlin have restaurant or bistro car that you can enjoy a meal while traveling. You can order breakfast, sandwiches, or snacks, soup, hot meals. They have pasta, goulash, schnitzels, seasonal dishes. They have also desserts, cakes, coffee, tea, and soft drinks. Czech and German beer as well as wine. Berlin is a city that has been shaped by kings, emperors, wars, division, and reunification. Today, it is Germany's capital and largest city, known for its rich history, culture, and resilience. Berlin began as two small settlements, Berlin and Koln, on opposite banks of the Spree River during the 13th century. Their location made them important trading centers, and they gradually grew into a prosperous town. In the 15th century, Berlin became the residence of the rulers of Brandenburg. By the 18th century, it was the capital of the powerful Kingdom of Prussia under Frederick the Great.
Topography of their rooms where the Nazi had their office because this is the
After Germany's defeat in World War I, the monarchy ended. Berlin became the capital of the Democratic Weimar Republic.
office turned into museum.
Today, our first stop is to visit the Topography of Terrors. This is one of Berlin's most important historical museums. Rather than celebrating history, it documents how the Nazi dictatorship operated, the crimes it committed between 1933 and 1945. It stands on the actual site where the headquarters of the Nazi regime's security organizations once stood. Another great landmark is the famous Dome Church in Berlin. It's called Berlin Cathedral. It is one of city's most recognizable landmarks with its magnificent green copper dome rising nearly 98 meters above the city. Although it is called a cathedral, in English, it is actually the largest Protestant church in Berlin and serves as the principal church of the Protestant community in the city rather than the seat of a bishop. The present church was built between 1894 and 1905 during the reign of Wilhelm II. He wanted a grand church that would reflect the prestige of German Empire and the former Prussian royal family, the Hohenzollerns. During the World War II, the cathedral was heavily damaged by bombing. Its great dome collapsed after a fire, and restoration took decades. The rebuilt dome is slightly lower than the original. The restoration was completed after German reunification. The Altes Museum is one of Berlin's most important museums, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was designed by the famous Prussian architect Karl Friedrich Schenkel and completed in 1830. It was one of the first public museums in Europe, built to make the royal art collections accessible to everyone rather than just the nobility. Berlin has a collection of museums in an island. You can find Altes, Neues, Alte National Gallery, Bode Museum, and Pergamum Museum, where you can find the Pergamum altar and the Esther Gate of Babylon. Neues Museum is said to be home of the world-famous bust of Queen Nefertiti, along with treasures from ancient Egypt and prehistoric Europe. After visiting the island of museum, we headed to the Grand Avenue. This is the road connecting to Brandenburg Gate. It is called the Unter den Linden, which means under the linden trees. It is Berlin's most famous boulevard and it stretches about 1.5 kilometers from the area beside Island Museum to the Brandenburg Gate. Welcome to Neue Vaku Memorial Building. Inside, you can find a powerful sculpture called Mother with a Dead Son, created by a German artist, Katz Kollwitz. It is shown a grieving mother holding her dead son, symbolizing the suffering caused by war and violence. Welcome to Berlin State Library. It is one of the largest and most important libraries in Germany, with millions of books, manuscripts, maps, and musical scores. The underground room with empty white bookshelves, visible through a glass panel in the ground, commemorates the book burning of May 10, 1933, when Nazi supporters burned around 20,000 books by Jewish liberal and other German authors. The other side is associated with many groundbreaking discoveries and influential thinkers. Its faculty and alumni includes numerous Nobel Prize, as well as prominent scholars such as Albert Einstein, Max Planck, the Brothers Grimm, and Karl Marx. The university remains one of Germany's leading research institutions and is part of Berlin's University Alliance, an excellence initiative supporting collaborative research. Welcome to Brandenburg Gate of Berlin. This is the most famous landmark and a powerful symbol of German unity. Built between 1788 and 1791 by the order of King Frederick William II, it is designed in a neoclassical style inspired by the entrance to the Acropolis in Athens. The top of the gate is Quadriga, a sculpture of the goddess of victory driving a chariot pulled by 4 horses. In 1806, Napoleon Bonaparte took the sculpture to Paris after defeating Prussia. After Napoleon's defeat in 1814, it was returned to Berlin and became a symbol of victory.
This is the Parisian Square.
In 1806, Napoleon Bonaparte took the sculpture to Paris after defeating Prussia. After Napoleon's defeat in 1814, it was returned to Berlin and became a symbol of victory. After World War II, the gate stood in the border area between East and West Berlin. When the Berlin Wall was built in 1961, the gate became inaccessible to the public. It became the world's best-known symbol of the division between East and West Germany. On December 22, 1989, shortly after the fall of the Berlin Wall, the Brandenburg Gate reopened. Today, it symbolizes peace, freedom, and the reunification of Germany. Welcome to the Holocaust Blocks in Berlin. This is officially called the Memorial of the Murdered Jews of Europe. They are one of the city's most important memorials. The purpose of this memorial is to honor the approximately 6 million Jewish victims murdered during Holocaust. It opened 2005 and designed by Peter Eisenman. There are 2,711 concrete blocks arranged in a grid. The meaning of this is that the architect intentionally did not assign a single official meaning of the blocks. As you walk through them, the ground slopes downward and the blocks become taller, creating feelings of confusion, isolation, and uncertainty. Different visitors experience the memorial in different ways. This is located just a short walk from a Brandenburg Gate.
It's not a maze, she said. So you're not gonna get lost. But it just differs in height. Walang mapaglagyan ng pera, sabi ni Madam Auring.
Beneath the memorial is an information center where you can learn about the Holocaust through photographs, letters, diaries, and the stories of individual victims and families. Many visitors find this underground exhibition especially moving because it gives personal context to the abstract memorial above. When you visit, you are expected to behave respectfully since the site is a place of remembrance rather than a tourist attraction. Strictly, there is no standing on top of the blocks. The Berlin Wall was erected by the East German government on August 13, 1961 to stop people from fleeing from East Berlin and East Germany to West Berlin. Before it was built, millions had already escaped to the west side.